What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Dwayne, and welcome to another episode of Developing Apex Brands. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Developing Apex Brands, here with your boy Dwayne, coming to you live from the Edit Bay. So as I stated before, we're doing a new series here where we'll be interviewing entrepreneurs and just getting insight into their industry and how they live their lives. So on today's episode, I got one of Belsuver, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's own. Can't speak highly of this man. One of the people that actually got me into, messing around with cameras and wanting to get into multimedia, whether he knows that or not. But without further ado, I want to bring on to the camera my man, Ruff Bone, aka Jay White Digital. What's going on with you, pimp?
What's going on with you, homie? How you, man?
I'm good, man. It's been a long time, bro. How you been?
Man, I've been great. Can't complain at all, man.
I know that's right, man. So let's get into it, man. So for those of you, or for those out there who don't know who Jay White is, give them a little background. Where you come from, what you represent.
Come from the great city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Belsuver native, Southside native of Pittsburgh.
All right.
Grew up in a only predominantly black community on the South Side. It was great growing up in Belsuver. Got to see what a black neighborhood looked like before crack hit. And it was great and it was lovely. And hopefully one of these days we could get back to that. We all are great right now, but sometimes our communities don't look like it. So we want to get the communities back to, how I look back in the day. But I grew up, just like a lot of people grew up in the hood, man, seen a lot, been through a lot, and overcame a lot, I never let my flaws or what I went through hold me back. I always strive for greatness. Always was an entrepreneur. Every job I ever worked in my life, I had one foot in and one foot out because I always figured I'm not a great employee. I'm a great boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I'm kind of the same way, Jay.
I'm great working with people, but I ain't great working for people.
I hear that, man.
So, I used to be into a lot of stuff, man. I used to be into the streets real heavy. It changed my life around. Ended up moving to North Carolina in 2003 or 2004. And changed my life around, man. That was like, one of the defining moments in my life. I just was tired of the streets, left the streets, moved to North Carolina, moved to Winston-Salem, which was a lot more slower pace for me. And it was a great thing because I was able to learn a lot of new things in life and learn how to really become a man, and become a father and, just become a better person overall from moving down south. So moved back to Pittsburgh 2013.
Okay.
And I just been, I've been doing film since 2005, media, film, documentaries. I picked up a camera when I moved to North Carolina. I was rapping first. And then when I moved to North Carolina is when I actually picked up a camera and I started out with a documentary called Blocks, Projects, and Entertainment. And when I moved back to Pittsburgh, I was coming back and forth to Pittsburgh from North Carolina, doing a lot of filming. And I was filming in North Carolina too. I would go down Charlotte, been to Raleigh, I've been to a lot of cities, capturing content, shooting videos. Moved back to Pittsburgh 2013 and it's been great ever since, man. I've just been taking it to the next level with everything with film, man. I did my own feature film in 2018 where I flipped out my own movie called Everyday Hustle.
Everyday Hustle?
Yeah, I did 9, but I'm working on my 8th documentary right now.
Wow.
So I've did so much content over the years, from commercials to, stuff when injustice is happening here in the city. I film, I've been on, been to these rallies, filming stuff, creating content, just a content creator here for the city, man. And just, I travel wherever too also, but I'm Pittsburgh born, man. And I, my city's hard. So I try to put my city first to, so people can see what Pittsburgh's like from our perspective as African Americans.
Yeah. And one thing about that, I do appreciate that, man. I kind of admire that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, so I watch you do it from afar. But, you took your talent and you took your essence and your presence back to the city. A lot of people from Pittsburgh, they leave the city, they get on, and then they never come back, I actually met a guy in Atlanta. His name was Chilio. I don't know if you ever heard of Chilio, but he said he was from Bell Suver. So it's like every city I go to, I meet somebody, from the neighborhood, but they're not in the neighborhood. So it's actually cool to see somebody come back to the city and put on, But let's go a little bit farther back, right? So, we both come from the same neighborhood, Bell Suver, right, on the south side. You grew up in the 80s, 90s, correct?
Yeah, yep. I was born in 79. So I grew up in the 80s. And the 80s was lovely as a kid, man. You know what I mean? Like being in the community, like I said, seeing that, like Bell Suver was a nice middle-class black neighborhood, man. Everybody, most everybody had money, people owned businesses, and we had all types of just different businesses, bars and laundromats and stores, we go to as kids, man, and just seeing the community like that was great. And I'm so glad I got a chance to like witness that before drugs and gangs hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
80s crack hit, you know what I mean? Mid 80s, late 80s crack hit. And then early 90s gangs hit, and it was just been like downhill ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I was actually going to ask you about too. That was a good transition, right? So, Bell Suver, as a kid growing up in Bell Suver, I got to see, how tight knit of a community that, that community was, everybody on the street knew each other. Somebody grandmama could reprimand you for acting up on the wrong block.
Right.
Everybody looked out for each other. Browns, you know what I'm saying? Getting candy and stuff like that. So, I remember that. But then I also was young at the age where I remember, being in the middle of the gang violence and being in the middle of the dope and all that kind of stuff. So like, how did growing up in that environment and then, eventually moving to North Carolina, how did that kind of shape you as a person?
Growing up in that, man, it was tough, man, because it was basically like if you came outside, you had to be with it, like, or it's just like stay in the house. You know what I mean? Once you came outside, it was like there was no like, oh, I'm just gonna be the regular kid who just chills and hoops. There was a few kids that was like that.
Yeah.
But it was just more of a dog eat dog world then. You know what I mean? It's like the more savage you are, the more people's gonna leave you alone. You know what I mean? It was like more of you had to be hard, you had to be gangster, you had to always just be on the bullshit, you know what I mean, for people to like respect you. And it's like, why mentally, and as I'm older, I'm like, why did we have to live like that? You know what I mean? Why did you have to, and it turned a lot of dudes into something they wasn't. A lot of dudes was straight A students, and dudes was athletes, and dudes was just all types of different things. Somebody might have wanted to be a scientist, but it's like once the streets hit you in school, like, oh, he's a nerd, and you getting teased because you're smart. So it's like you gotta be cool, even if you don't want to fit in with the kids that's not that smart. You gotta fit in with the crowd because that's just what the environment called for. And a lot of stuff that has to do with the streets is more the environment than what your kid is. You know what I mean? Like you can
totally understand.
Kid, but you can be in this environment where it calls for you to react a certain way. Like I look at the hood, like I always tell people like this: if you drop your kid off in the middle of the jungle and tell them to survive with no resources, no money, they're going to adapt to the environment and do whatever they got to do to survive. And that's kind of like, and what the hood is like, growing up in the hood is like you get dropped off in the middle of, and you got to do whatever you got to do to survive because there's so much going around you, and there's so much negativity, and there's so much, but there are great people, that grow up in the hoods and in our neighborhoods, that we do have certain mentors. But the drug dealers overseen, like the drug dealers are the dudes we always looked at as, oh, he's the dude, he got all the women, he got the jewelry, he's the man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it just made the era just like, that era was like, just like, I mean, you had to wear a certain color, you couldn't wear certain colors, you couldn't go on certain streets, you couldn't go in different neighborhoods. It was terrible. Like, and I'm older, I'm like, I look at the kids now, it's like, they still got gangs and stuff, but a lot of these kids can go to different neighborhoods and move around. It's like, we was basically stuck in Bell Suver, or we could go to another neighborhood was the same gang as us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You can't hang out with nobody in St. Clair, right?
Yeah.
All that shit.
It just was like, you couldn't do a lot. It was like you was like a prisoner in your own neighborhood. And then once neighborhoods start trickling down, where you start to get neighborhoods within neighborhoods beefing, dudes are limited to one street. So it's like your whole life revolves around just being on this one block, and you're like a prisoner. Like it's just like it's so messed up mentally with the psyche, what it does to you. And it's like you become like, you might have started out like it's just like, oh, I might just be this young dude. I want to sell a little bit of weed, and then it just escalates, and you just become this full-fledged, all-in, gang banging, hustling. You know what I mean? You might not have set out to be that person, but as the environment grows, you get more and more deeper into it, and it just sucks you all the way in. And it's rough, and it's hard to get out. I was one of a few dudes who was able to like get out, make enough money, get out, I still got my mental. I ain't tell on nobody, you know what I mean? I ain't do 100 years in jail. I was able to escape it because I just got tired of the environment, you know what I mean? I just knew there was more to life than just being in Belsuva. So
most certainly.
Yeah, I ended up moving to North Carolina in 2004. I just started I seen the walls closing in, you know what I mean? I was hustling, I was making a lot of money, and I was just like, bro, I'm out. Like, moving. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm moving, yo. I'm getting out of here, yo. It was just too much going on, and I just seen where my life would have led if I didn't move. You know?
Yeah. So, well, as fate would have it, as me and you both know, without saying too much, you definitely got on and out at the right time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's dive a little bit deeper, right? So, you did the street thing for a little while, right? Got your coin, you got out. So now you down in North Carolina, you moved to North Carolina. Did the move coincide with you starting to get into film, or did you start to get into film before you actually left Pennsylvania? No,
I got into film once I moved to North Carolina, because I was rapping at the time, and I had 2 videos. I had 2 rap videos, and I was like, man, what I'm gonna do? YouTube wasn't really even around then. Like, YouTube wasn't what YouTube we know today. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these 2 rap videos.
Yeah, you said like 2004, 2005.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that was still MySpace.
Yeah, it wasn't really like YouTube wasn't cracking like that. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do really with these 2 music videos. I said maybe I can. So my one boy Hannibal, he does the web series, TV series called Transitions. It's on Amazon Prime. I actually do some of the editing for it. It's like like The Wire, being one of those type series, like a street series based on like Pittsburgh, Detroit, DC, dudes hustling or whatever. But he did a documentary back in the day called Overdose. He went through Pittsburgh, DC, Baltimore. He went down Houston and like 2 other cities, and he put a documentary together. And that kind of inspired me. And I was like, well, man, what if I make a documentary? What if I buy me a little mini DV camera, a little documentary with my music videos about Belsuva? And that's how I was like, man, I'm gonna just make a little documentary. I don't know nothing about cameras or nothing. I'm gonna just buy this camera and just, start. I was always interested in cameras. I had cameras back in the day, but I never knew nothing about editing software or, be doing that aspect of it. We would have little cameras and film stuff in the hood, but it was never like, I want to edit it and then do something with it. You know what I mean? So I ended up buying a camera, and I was like, I'm gonna just start filming some stuff in Belsuva and try to put a documentary together. One of my homies back then, he had downloaded the program Sony Vegas off LimeWire. So first throwback. Yeah,
LimeWire. Yeah, I remember that. Every song you download was a Soulja Boy.
Man, this was like Sony Vegas 4 or something, yo. I don't even remember what model it was. And he downloaded it. He was like, yeah, I got the crack. I'll put it on your computer. He put the crack. He was like, I don't know nothing about editing. He said, all I know how to do is hit Control-C, and that cuts the video and audio clip. And that's all he knew. There wasn't no tutorials for us. There wasn't no school. So everything I learned was trial and error. When I first started, the words wasn't lining up. So I went back to Belsuva, and I was like, I'm gonna put this little documentary together with my music videos. And then I thought, like, well, maybe what if I could do a whole documentary going through all the hoods in Pittsburgh? I was like, I took it one step farther, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a flyer. And I made a flyer, PGH Hood to Hood, rep your hood. I got 5,000 flyers printed up, and I came back to Pittsburgh, and it was cold. I was putting them on people's cars, passing them out at the clubs, everything. I was here for like a whole weekend.
Yeah.
dudes just start hitting me up. You know what I mean? That was the introduction to Blocks Projects and Entertainment. I really didn't even know what I was doing. Like I had the mini DV camera with the little tapes in it, with the little DV tapes. And I had to take the camera. I had to take I don't even remember what type of cable it was. I took the cable from the camera and I had to plug it into an old school computer, and the whole tape had to run, and they had to record in the Sony Vegas program. Now, now we just take the SD cards, put them in. Yeah, so it was record the whole 2-hour tape. I had to sit there and let the whole tape go into Sony Vegas and let it record it there. And then I was able to edit. So it was like a whole different process I had to go through. Like that was basically my first project, was doing Blocks Projects and Entertainment on the film side.
Hey, look, man, check me out. Hey, look.
That's what's up, bro.
I still got mine, bro. I don't know if the light is too bright, if y'all can see that, man.
Flare on it. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, but I remember when he first came out with this DVD, man. I was one of the first people to get it, man. That thing's still in working condition. I play it every once in a while too, man, just for inspiration,
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
That was my introduction. I didn't start out with like rap videos. I started straight out with a documentary, but I started incorporating the rap videos into it. But I was just going to dudes' hoods and letting them freestyle and letting them just rap. I was just showing the hoods. I was showing, the gangster stuff. I was showing the dudes on dirt bikes, and then I was showing like the rappers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the documentary worked out great for me, man. To this day, I still, a lot of people in the city still, bring it up. Man, I remember you did that. Some people that don't know me from back then, they be like, I remember I used to watch them hood DVDs and stuff like that. So,
yeah, real.
I'd be like, yeah, that's the old Ruff Bone, man.
Yeah, right.
It was monumental for the city, though.
For real, man. So, let me ask you this question too. Now, that's a pretty innovative idea. That's more so along the lines of like a Smack DVD, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So was your when you came up with the idea, was your goal to make money or was your goal to get exposure?
Both.
Okay.
I knew I could make money doing it, but I wanted people outside of Pittsburgh to see what was going on in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I end up getting a distribution through Black Star Video, which was in Harlem, and Tape Man Inc., which was in Jersey. So I end up hitting them up. Somebody gave me the connection to them, one of them. And then the other one, matter of fact, Stediford's gave me the connection.
Okay, on the north side.
Yeah, Stediford's gave me the connect to Black Star Video, and then somebody else gave me the connection to Tape Man Inc. Black Star was a guy named Pop. So he used to buy the DVDs off me for $5 a piece, but he would buy 200 at a time. Like 300 at a time. You know what I mean? But I was selling the DVDs on the streets for 20. So I end up evening it out, you know what I mean? And I was only paying like $1 a DVD for 1,000 DVDs. I was only paying like 1,100. You know what I mean? That's shrink wrap, barcode, everything. But at me having that distribution through them, the documentary was traveling across the country. You know what I mean? I was getting calls from people from New Orleans, Minnesota, Cali. They was like, yeah, I just seen some Pittsburgh DVD. It's like, man, I didn't know y'all was living like that in Pittsburgh. So it was travel good, you know what I mean? And then it was in the Tape Man had a page layout in a Don Diva magazine, and I seen the Blocks Projects cover next to another documentary cover, like that was from like Detroit or something. It was called on My Block or something like that. But yeah, the Blocks Projects and Entertainment was in the Don Diva. Like my cover was in the Don Diva with some other DVD covers. So it worked out great, man. I stopped doing it. I just got, I just was like in a different place in my life after I did the third one. I was like, man, I'm not doing this hood stuff no more. And I just on it, you know what I mean? I stopped doing it, but I sold so many DVDs, man. Like I sold a whole bunch. I'd be places somewhere in cities, and I would go to like little hood stores, and I would see my DVDs in there. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man.
In North Carolina, my man, he had the Easy Records down in Charlotte, and that was like in what was the name of the mall in Charlotte? The Black Mall in Charlotte was like it was a hood mall.
Eastway.
Yeah. Eastway,
That was back when HBK used to be over there all the time, tearing shit up.
He had the Easy Record store in there, and he used to buy DVDs off me all the time. He was selling a lot for me, man. I can't even remember my man's name, but the DVD went across the country, man. So it was a great thing, man. Then me, I just keep it moving. Like I don't dwell on the past. I just keep it moving on to the next project, to the next project.
To the next one.
Sometimes I do need to sit back and, smell the flowers and I like salute myself, but I really just, I'm constantly working and staying busy that I don't really sometimes even dwell on like my accomplishments and things I've done. You know what I mean? And I don't I always remain humble. Like I'm proud of myself, but I still remain humble. You know what I mean? I know I did a lot in my city. I know I did a lot, just period. But I just remain humble. Like I don't, try to be cocky like I'm better than somebody or nothing, because there's so much more work for me to do. You know what I mean? I'm not nowhere near where I want to be. You know what I mean? And even if I was, I wouldn't, try to, talk down on people or, be, a certain type of way towards people, because without the people, we don't have nothing. Without me having those DVDs, without people buying it, I don't have nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always the people who are the ones who make you who you are.
Most certainly. And I can always say, from seeing you over the years, you've been super personable, you know what I mean? Super cool person, real chill, laid back guy. You show love to everybody around you. But I see that as being I guess like a through line for a lot of entrepreneurs, man, keeping your head down, working hard, and, giving yourself, temporary pats on the back, but not using that as the motivation to get you to the next, to the next plateau. Cause obviously it's the work, that you have a passion for, not the accolades. Right. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this question, man. Cause like when I'm listening to you tell your story, about how you get your product out to the public, that's a totally separate skill than actually working in film and having a creative background. So like, I mean, have you gone to school for like marketing or business, or is this just something that you just been learning, through trial and error?
It's just a learn through trial and error, man. Like that process was kind of easy with that distribution with Tape Man Inc. Because it was just like I get the DVDs pressed up, they send me my checks, I send them the DVDs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When I did Everyday Hustle movie, that process was a lot harder because on the back end. So I was like, all right, I got my movie now. So I got to figure out how to package this up and make money off it 3 to 4, 5 different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had contacted the August Wilson Center to do the movie premiere, which was a whole process doing that. Everything was a la carte. Every single different person I went through was like, yeah, you got to sign this paperwork for these people because they sell the liquor in there. You got to sign it for these people because they're the union. The sound guy, and then use the microphones is this price. So that was like a whole nother process. I'm like, this is great. So the way the August Wilson got it set up to me is to discourage independent people like me. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I got from it, kind of. You know what I mean? It was like, it was discouraging for an independent person, but I went through the whole process and I did it. You know what I mean? So that was from like, getting that, then I gotta sell the tickets. I gotta create Eventbrite. I gotta market it. You know what I mean? I gotta put commercials out to market this movie. What's the best date going to be? You know what I mean? Then I gotta get backdrops made. It was like a whole process. So then I had to get t-shirts made. So I made the gift bags with a t-shirt in it, the movie, and you know what I mean, and like a Pittsburgh State of Mind DVD and some other stuff in it. You know what I mean? So I made like gift bags for people. I sold those. People was buying those. I had made different little tier sponsorship packages. So if you want to sponsor, you get this amount of tickets. You get these gift bags. You get this. You know what I mean? So me and my wife kind of came up with some of that stuff. So it was like a whole different steps and layers to it. Yeah. I ended up selling 500 tickets. I had to stop selling tickets.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I sold out, because I got 250 tickets I did online. I had 250 in my hand, personal, like printed up tickets. And I'm like, once I got rid of all the tickets I had in my hand, and then I looked at the sheet, I'm like, oh, I sold over. You know what I mean? 500 people didn't come, but I sold that many tickets. You know what I mean?
Hey man, look, congratulations to you, bro. You had a sold out movie premiere, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, look, if anybody gonna give you flowers, it's definitely gonna be me, man. That's an accomplishment, bro. Most certainly. So shoot, man, I actually got a little clip here if you want to, put it up for the people to see.
Oh, yeah.
Everyday Hustle.
Everyday Hustle. Listen, the thing about Everyday Hustle is I freestyled my own movie. You know, I didn't have no script. I didn't have no budget. I wasn't waiting for Hollywood to save me. I wasn't waiting for nobody to come. I was in my house with my daughter. She was 6 months. And she was crying and being bad that day. And I was like, man, if I was a single parent, my life would be crazy, you know, at my age.
Yeah, I feel
you. Like, and I thought, I was like, man, I might put together a little documentary about single dads. And then I thought, like, I got enough documentaries right now. I was like, well, maybe if I did like a little short film about me being a single dad and I'm struggling trying to find work, and I just start coming up with ideas. I just start calling my friends. Like, yo, bro, I need to use you for this scene. So this movie, nothing is scripted. Everything is freestyled in this movie. It might have been like, I might have just said like, yo, Wayne, like me and you, this is going to be the scene. We're going to talk about how it was growing up in Belle Sugar. And that was basically it. I didn't tell you to say like, I don't need you to say this word. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 scenes, I told people like, oh, I need you to just say this line to keep the story moving forward. But other than that, it's just dialogue. We just created, and there it is.
Hey, look, man. An improvised movie from front to back, man. That's amazing, bro.
65 minutes long, man. A great.
Hey, look, we're gonna take us a quick little break here. In the meantime, we're gonna be sitting here watching the premiere for the Everyday Hustle on Dad Media. I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to figure where we at. All right, here we go, man. And without further ado, everybody check out Everyday Hustle.
They hit a U-turn, bro. They hit a U-turn. They on it, man. Call that nigga, bro. Niggas about to learn that. I really live it like niggas better get it right. If I where you going to, bro? Come up here and make this left, bro. Alright, I'll let you in a second, bro. Alright, peace.
Fuck this, man. Yo, Lord, that shit. They love that shit. It looks like fucking him in that front seat, too. See that?
Look at this stuff right here, bro. This stuff. Alright, this stuff.
I feel like you're gonna run. If you run, I'm gonna hop out. Hop out as soon as you get out.
Hey, come over here, man.
House over there, my house over there.
Come on, man, bro. Damn, what the fuck? I got it. Sneak. Yo. What the fuck? Let's go. Get on the back. What you got? What you got? Freeze. Come here, nigga. What you got? What you got? Man, nothing, man. Who you with? Freeze, nigga. Yeah, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Turn around. What y'all even on me for, huh? You got anything going on, fam? You got anything going on? You ain't tell me. Huh? You got anything going on? Put your hands behind your back. Running through these fucking woods and shit. What the fuck you chasing me for, nigga? What you running for? Nigga, you chasing me. What the fuck you running, nigga? Cause you run. Hey, y'all niggas be killing niggas. What the fuck? You wanna be next? Hell no. Alright then. What the fuck going on? Shut the fuck up. I got his ass.
All right, there you have it, man. That was a clip from the Everyday Hustle movie directed by my man Jay White Digital right here, man. So yeah, man, if you want to check that out, you can definitely check it out. Where?
It's on YouTube. You could type in Everyday Hustle movie, and it's on Facebook. Type in Everyday Hustle movie. So I really couldn't put it like on like really all like YouTube. It's up, but I got like copyrighted music in it. You know, I put like Rick James, Ebony Eyes in there. Like it was like music in there because I wasn't really like trying to like put it in film festivals and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's up. It's available. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. One of the dope things I liked that you did was you highlighted a lot of local Pittsburgh artists too.
Yeah.
On the soundtrack.
Music. Yeah, I put 90% of the music is Pittsburgh music in there. Like 95% is all Pittsburgh music. And I just, reached out to the artists in the city. Hey, man, I'm doing this movie. You want your song featured in a movie? That's something they could put on their credits, man. So. That's
dope, man. So let me ask you this, man. So where'd you get these actors from? Like, who's that? Because there's a lot of people in this movie, bro.
Just people. You know what I did when I did this movie? Personality, man. The people who really wanted to work. I wasn't trying to find like who's the most popular people in the city, stuff like that. I just went off like, okay, I know this person is good personality wise for this scene. And that's basically how I picked the people, personality. It was because I didn't have a script, so I had to really go off like, what type of characteristics does this person have for this scene? And that's how it ended up working for me.
That's dope, man.
And there's errors in the movie and stuff like that. The movie's definitely far from perfect. But I wasn't trying to make a perfect movie. I wanted to make my own movie. And I did it and I succeeded. I succeeded at doing it. So. Yeah,
man. I mean, for you to have made, it's about an hour and 10 minutes, right?
Yes, hour and 5 minutes, 65 minutes.
Hour and 5 minutes, yeah. So, you figure, doing all that by yourself, you don't have a continuity team, you don't have makeup, you don't have lighting, you don't have a boom man, there's just, you don't have a DP, like there's just a whole lot of variables that you don't have. So for somebody doing that on your own, a couple, mistakes here and there is well deserved, man.
Right. Even the police sirens, that's noise in the background I put. Like, all the feet walking, I had to put the little steps in there, like with stuff. And like, it was a lot of different stuff you have to do with editing, man. Like, people got to respect the editors. And continuity is so important because what I learned from Everyday Hustle is I'll never shoot another movie again in March in Pittsburgh outside. Because, March, it snows, it's raining, and it's sunny. So I might have the same outfit on, and then you see snow on the ground, and then I'm in the same outfit on, and it's sunny out. It's like, hold up. So continuity is very important when it comes to movies. So I learned that from Everyday Hustle because there is a few scenes in there where I had the same outfit on when you see some snow on the ground, and then you see the sunny out. So
it's like Ray J's hat. Just keep moving all over your head. Hey, that's cool, man. So let me ask you this question, man. So all these people, or most of these people, they don't have acting backgrounds, right? So how do you direct these people to get the kind of result that you want to get out of them? Especially because there's like some action scenes in this movie. Yeah. People running, and so how do you bring all that together?
What I encourage people to do, because they're not going off an actual character. You know what I mean? It's not like I told them like, yo, you're being Wild Boy Larry or something, you know what I mean? Where his characteristics like this. Well, I actually told him what was easier with a movie, just be yourself. Be your natural self of how you would be in a situation. You know what I mean? And it just worked out, you know what I mean? And it was just because I wasn't telling them to be a character like, movies, when you're reading a line, like, all right, I'm getting into character for this person. So I'm using this person being their self for this scene. And that's how it worked out.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. What's been new on J White Digital Table, man? What's the new thing we have to look forward to, man?
So I'm working on this wrestling comedy right now, man, called Blam, man. So
wrestling comedy.
Yeah. So there's a wrestling series on called Heels. It's on Netflix or Amazon Prime. So it's about like some white dudes like out in the country, you know what I mean? Yeah. They out they out like West Virginia or somewhere, wrestlers, or Tennessee or something. So Blam is the opposite of that. There's black people from the hood wrestling, but it's a comedy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I got real wrestlers in it. I got funny people in it. It's a dope storyline. Me and my man Lay Lansky, aka Lay Warbucks. He's the rap with the group called The Government, GOV, with S Money and Boaz and them.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Me and him put this together. So we've been working on it for like a year. hopefully we can start shooting it sometime when it gets warm, when it warms up again. You know, right? It's hard, you know what I mean? Because it's like wrestling is different. Like having to write a wrestling match, you know what I mean? So it's a lot to do it. But we've been working on the script. It's been me and him. I'm looking for like somebody here in the city who's like a real deal script writer where I can sit down with them and we can continue to build on the script, because the script's written, but they say scripts ain't written, they're rewritten. You know what I mean? So guys a few times until we get it how we want it. And we want to make it into a series. So we want to shoot this first episode. It's like a proof of concept episode. And I know for a fact, Blam will be nationwide. We get it together and we shoot this. So it's a wrestling comedy about people from the hood, yo.
Hey, that's gonna be hilarious. Just the premise.
We come from a wrestling town, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were watching wrestling. That was, you know, and black people really don't get the love, and like now you start to see like black champions. Black people was always into wrestling, always wrestled, always, you know what I mean? But back in the day, we didn't get that love and those accolades and those, you know, we had the Junkyard Dogs and Jimmy Fly Snookers, but they wasn't never the main champs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just something that's heartfelt for me, because we grew up watching wrestling and telling it from our perspective. Plus, it's a comedy. Sky's the limit with Blam, man. So y'all can follow the page. It's BLAM, Blam Wrestling. It's on Instagram. I got it on Facebook. And you can just type in Blam Wrestling.
Okay.
It's a nice logo to it. Just follow the page. Now I got to start putting a little bit more content up. Casting call. I got most of my actors and actresses already. You know, like probably like 85% of the roles is filled. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go back and have people do auditions again when the time comes, because you know stuff changes. Somebody might not be available. So. And that's it, man. Just still working, just producing content. What else I'm working on? I'm thinking about a documentary. I'm about to start. I'm in like pre-production, just brainstorming ideas for like Pittsburgh, the history of music, like rap music. So I want to go back from the 80s all the way to now and do a documentary about Pittsburgh music. There's so many influential people, with so many dope people. And their stories need to be told too. So that's another project that'll be coming down the pipeline. Pittsburgh, history of hip hop. So other than that, just, you know, regular projects, man. You know, just continue to put out content, continue working. And I got these dope jackets right here. You know.
The jackets. Yeah, them things are hard, bro. You got the
classic Pittsburgh artists on here. There's some newer artists, but a lot of these covers are old school Pittsburgh artists from like the early 90s. You know, like that when tapes was out, and then some of them, you know, from the 2000s and stuff like that. And there's a few newer artists on here, but I created some Stiller ones like this. They'll be coming in next week. I got the Stiller jackets, then I'm creating some Pitt ones. So the Stiller jackets, just all the all-time Stiller greats on there, just pictures of them.
Yeah.
This is that satin material, man. Yeah, man. It's got
keep it player. Keep it player. Yeah. You say you have a Pitt one too, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a Pitt one too with Tony.
Oh yeah, make sure you put my cousin on there, Rod Rutherford, man.
Oh, he's on there. He's already on there. Yeah, Rod's on there.
You gotta put Rod on there.
Yeah, Rod's definitely a legend, bro. I definitely got Rod on there.
Shout out to Cuz. Shout out to Rod, man. So let me ask you, man. I got a few questions. You know what I mean? I know we've been on the the call for a little. Oh yeah.
I can't see. You can't. Well, I gotta put it.
I can see a little bit of it. Yeah, there you go.
See Rod right there, number 12. That's the back.
Oh yeah, I see him. I see him. See
the back of it. So I'm getting these made up right now. So hopefully I'll have them back before Pitt do that bowl game down Atlanta, so I could go make some money, sell these hard jackets.
I know that's right.
And the Stiller ones. So that's it, bro. You know what I mean? Just
most certainly.
Stay busy, man. Stay focused and take care of my kids and my family, man.
I know that's right. So I got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll get up out of here, right? So, what camera everybody want to know what camera you're shooting on right now, man? What's your favorite rig right now? What you got?
I got a Black Magic. I got a Black Magic 4K pocket.
Okay.
I use that, and when I'm taking my pictures, I use my Sony A7R4. So I use my Sony, A7R4 is more for photography than video, but it still shoots in 4K. And most people, most people, if you shooting in 1080 or 4K, most people can't tell. We can, we kind of know, like,
people that work in the industry.
Yeah, but I use my Sony A7R4 when I'm just doing running around. You know what I mean? But when I'm doing bigger projects, I just use my Blackmagic 4K.
Okay. And are you shooting handheld or are you shooting on a rig?
Nah, this depends. I'll be using my tripod. I got the Zhiyun crane. You know what I mean? I got a Zhiyun crane. But when I'm doing my real estate videos, I use my Sony A7R4. So I just go in the cribs with the Zhiyun crane. Like when I'm doing my rehab, I got clients who rehab houses. So I go in the house before when it's all tore up, get a video of it, go through all the rooms, take pictures. I use my Sony A7R4 for that.
Okay, that's dope. I'm actually shooting. What I have on the tripod right now is an A7R3. So I'm one up under you.
Yep. Yeah. I love that A7R4 60 megapixels on the pictures.
Yeah.
So them pictures be crispy. You know what I mean?
Man, trust me, I already know. You got more pixels than me, so I can already tell what yours look like if mine look like how they look, you know? Another question, man. We got 2 more questions and then we can slide, bro. So question number 1, let's say I'm a photographer, videographer, content creator, graphic designer. What are the top 3 industries that you would suggest that I jump into going forward? You know, like what are your 3 top money earning industries that, bring you business?
Mine's is truthfully, my main clients are small businesses.
Small businesses?
Yep, people who have small businesses. I would say get with people and start doing content for businesses. You know what I mean? People with small businesses. It's harder to get to those corporate companies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, once you get with, people who have small businesses and people, the real estate industry is dope. But when I first got into it, I was going about it the wrong way. I was hollering at the realtors, but I'm like, them was the wrong people. The contractors is the ones with all the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you want to do like home real estate, so I do drone videos, you know what I mean, for my clients to rehab homes because they're contractors. They got crews and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rehab homes. Those are good clients, people who have small businesses. And I like young people coming in the game, music videos are good to do because it keeps your creativity. I'm just kind of like, I burnt out on that phase of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that tends to be the progression.
Good, for younger people, like even if you're old, I'm not saying, it's an age thing, but if you coming in, music videos is something great to get your feet wet, get your creativity up. You learn a lot from doing music videos, but you just got to keep investing in your craft. On the photography side, I would say weddings. You know what I mean?
Weddings.
Like, videos is dope too, but that's a lot of hard work. You know what I mean? I did my cousin's wedding video in July. That's a lot. It's a lot, because you need 3-4 cameras doing a wedding. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Different angles. You need to have the groom got to be mic'd up. You need to have a mic up there on the podium where the preacher's at. You know what I mean? So it's a lot with filming weddings, but wedding photography is great. Event photography is always nice and easy. You got your flash on your camera. So it's so many different lanes. That I can tell somebody to get into. It's just really them just going out there and finding their niche. You know what I mean? And finding like what they love. You know what I mean? Even like in studio photography. You know what I mean? If you go on that, you get your backdrops, your lights, you know what I mean? Set your stuff up and take pictures for people, even doing headshots. There's a lot of money in doing headshots. So there's so many different lanes when you pick up a camera that you can go into, and I've basically touched a lot of them, a lot of different lanes, and I don't limit myself. I don't really put out there that I'm a photographer. Like people hit me up for photography a lot. You know what I mean? I just do pictures. I look at myself more as a content creator with video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can take pictures, but it's so many people who do photography, but everybody can't do video.
Exactly.
You know I mean? So everybody can't do what I can do as video. So that's why I kind of like just don't really put I am good at photography, but I don't really put it out there like, oh, I'm a photographer, but people always hit me up. To me, I'm better at landscape photography, like taking pictures when I'm going out of town, like while I'm in the mountains of Colorado.
Oh yeah.
And then editing those. Like I could take pictures of people, but I'll say I like landscape photography better than taking pictures of people. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say which one I'm better at because I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just who's really the person who can, judge on what they, see. Everybody's art is interpreted different. You know what I mean?
That's exactly true.
I like landscape photography better. That's even, there's so many different ways, man, you can make money with a camera, man. It's just, it changed my life. Camera changed my life. Me picking up a camera was that was like the turning point in my life, besides moving to North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like picking up a camera. It taught me a skill set. It had me, I've been places that I never would have been. I've been around people I've never been. I've made money that I would have never made outside of, me being in the streets, working a job for somebody. I never would have made this kind of money. You know what I mean? Not even close. Been self-employed for years. You know what I mean? Just depending on my skill set and my business, J White Digital Media. So I'm just a full-fledged entrepreneur, man. And it's been, I've had my life been great, bro.
Yeah, man. One thing about entrepreneurship, man, you get an opportunity to buy your time back, right? So that's, I think that's even the best thing about it, right? So one last question, G. What do you think is the most important thing that a entrepreneur should know? And really, it can be for any industry, or you can make it specific, for videography, digital creation. But what's the one thing that you think sticks out to you the most for being an entrepreneur, I guess? Or like, what's the biggest piece of advice you give somebody in entrepreneurship?
Learn business. You could be the greatest. You could have the most skills. You could have everything. But if your business ain't in order, you can't go to the next level. You know what I mean? Me, when I was able to get my business in order and stuff like that, I was able to advance my career. You know what I mean? Business is the most important thing. You might be mediocre in your skill set, a person, but if your business is in order and you're a people person, people will go to you over this person who's just just got the skill set, and then they don't conduct business right. Exactly. Business, doing the business side of it is so important, and it's mostly a lot of back office stuff, having your contracts, having intake forms, and just having things for your clients, and you're calling them back. Me, I get caught up sometimes, and I be losing money. I can't front because I'm so busy doing so much stuff. I don't hit clients back in time. And I've lost a lot of money doing that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And it's basically just me. Like, I be trying to bring people on board. So now I'm looking for younger people to kind of like come work with me and stuff like that. And somebody who's more good at the back office stuff. Because it's like the business side is the most important thing. And like, and it's like really learning your craft, learning yourself. Like, don't, like, if you ain't that good at audio, hire somebody to do audio. Just take less money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the greatest audio person. I'm not the greatest at this. I'm not the greatest at that. But I am great at this. You know what I mean? X, Y, Z. I'm great at these things. And don't like look at your flaws. Focus on what you're great at. You know what I mean? Because you can always get better at the things that you're not great at. So if you're great at certain things, kind of like gear towards those things, and you could get better at other things. You know what I mean? Yes. When I need audio done, I'll hire somebody, because I'm not like a super duper audio guy. That's not really my field. You know what I mean? But I do have audio stuff. So it's like, just go hard. Like, read, research, watch tutorials. You know what I mean? I watch a lot of, I'm 42, bro, and I'm still learning new stuff every day. I don't know everything. You know what I mean? It's a learning process, man. You never gonna know all of it. And don't ever worry about what other people are doing. Somebody's always gonna be better than you. To me, everybody's better than me. I don't care. I don't care. Everybody like, oh, you know what I mean? They can feel however they feel, like, oh, I'm whatever. I don't care about none of that, because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I've been successful. I focus on me. You know what I mean? I love all my boys' work and stuff like that, but I don't look at people as competition. Some people might look at me as competition. They probably be like, man, Ruff's competition. I know when I was in the music videos, a lot of people looked at me as competition when I shot music videos, because I was one of the premier dudes doing music videos in the city, I just always focused on what I was doing instead of other people. I can't look at what other dudes is doing. Now, I respect everybody's craft, but I can't look at somebody's stuff from an envious or jealous point of view. You know what I mean? So I just do what you do. Focus on yourself and you'll be all right, man. But learn that business.
Yeah, right.
Learn the
So
business.
yeah, I heard, learn your business, keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah.
And a great entrepreneur told me one. Hey, yeah. Now, I was saying a great entrepreneur told me one time, freelancers do everything. Business owners do what they know how to do best and allocate everything else.
Yep.
You can't do everything by yourself. We only all get 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
But if you can learn how to allocate, certain tasks that other people are better at, take a little bit less money, and now you can expand your reach and get more clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So look, hey, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you, Jay. My man Ruff, you know what I'm saying, from Indo Block, creator of Blocks Projects and Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Somebody I always hold near and dear to my heart, man. I want to say thank you again for taking some time out your day and doing this interview with me, bro.
Oh, man, I definitely appreciate you bringing me on, man. We got to do it again. I know you probably
look,
a whole bunch of other people you got to get on there, but whenever you need me back, bro, I'm here, man.
Yeah, man, we can have some more in-depth conversation about more camera nerdy stuff.
No doubt. People probably be like, man, what they talk about?
Hey, look, man, this is the type of environment that I want to set for this page, man. I teach people how to do graphic design tutorials. I talk about running a clothing business. And then I just started this brand where I'll just be interviewing other entrepreneurs. So, come back and we'll do more of the graphic design stuff.
Keep doing your thing. Proud of you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Real quick before we get up off here, give everybody your social media information so they can find you after the video, man.
So my Instagram is J White Digital. And my Facebook is James S. White. And then my Facebook business page is J White Digital Media. So you can hit me up on all those platforms. Twitter is, what's my Twitter? My Twitter is J White Digital too. So hit me up, JAYWHITE Digital.
All right, everybody. So make sure y'all go out there and hit my man Jay up. Check out all the social media platforms, and also make sure that you go check out the movie, the Everyday Hustle on YouTube and on his Facebook page as well.
Yep. Type in Everyday Hustle movie.
Yeah, man. So for all my socials, guys, you can follow me on Instagram, Dab Media Group, as well as dabclothing.co. I have 2 different Instagrams. You can also find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/ you can put Dab Clothing Co. as well as Dab Media Group. That'll pull up both the Facebook fan pages. You can go to my clothing website. That's going to be www.dabclothingco.com. I got everything on there: women's purses, hoodies, leggings, women's sports bras, hats, anything that you can think of. We got on the website, man. We just did a Cyber Monday sale for the previous Black Friday for the holidays, and we'll be doing sales all throughout the holidays. So go check me out on that as well, man. If you like this video, please make sure that you like the video. Please make sure that you subscribe to the page. Also, make sure you turn on that bell for notifications. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure you leave those below in the comment section. And again, thank you for coming to another episode of Developing Apex Brands.